Hello, everybody on YouTube. This is Michael Zingar from the 28 millimeter Wargaming Sci-Fi channel, and today is going to be another in the series of the Pathways to War. Um, this will be the third installment for the platoon. Basically, if you guys aren't familiar with this series, basically shows what it takes to get an army on the board from the beginning to the end. We talk about tactics, fluff, painting, miniature selection, and everything. Now, I also want to do a video response to a guy named Starkey's Man Cave. He's got a really cool channel if you're into wargaming, Games Workshop stuff, and comic books. You're going to dig his channel. And basically, he just put out a really good video talking about the actual figure out which army you want to do. And he had a lot of cool, he hit on a lot of cool points. Uh, One of the things that people get overexcited about is, they get into a game and they don't look at the actual cost of the game, because you want to get the most for your gaming dollar. All right. So rather than going out and investing in totally new stuff, he selected stuff that he's already got. And that's kind of the same idea that I was doing too, because, like, for example, these plastic guys right here from EM4 Miniatures. Um, Dude, these are like, I think they're roughly like 3.95p or 3 pounds and 95p in England. I think it comes out to like $5 American. And I'm sitting on like 150 of these guys. I bought them for one project and I just got sidetracked because you know how it is, man. You get playing one game and then the new hotness comes about and stuff like that. And, they got set aside and got a bunch of vehicles that don't belong to anybody's rules and stuff like that. So, finding that generic rule set, it's going to let me see these cool figures and vehicles on the board. I never got to see that. I was stuck playing other people's games and stuff like that. And, I've used the No Limits War system before for other armies, but I just haven't got around to getting my humans done. All right. So, another thing, he basically brought up too is like, he took a look at what he had for his box sets and stuff like that, figured out the pricing and stuff like that, and figured the fun factor and everything in there, and he ended up going with a bolt action army, which bolt action's a great rule set. I'm not too happy with their vehicles, but you can get by using them. There's no problem with that at all. And you know, figuring out what quality of troops you're going to use too. He's going to go with the more veterans for his core group. He's going to build his army, it sounded like, in 500-point chunks, which is a great idea, man. Once you got this stuff painted up and written up, and you got it in chunk sections like that, and you got the unit cost pretty much figured out, you got a lot of diversibility in your playability as far as, if you want to take this down to the game store or play your buddy or what have you. You got it all figured out. It's all cohesive, and you're ready to go. So it's going to give you a lot more enjoyment, as far as the playing factor, So if you guys haven't seen his Pathways to War video, check that out. The guy at Solo Wargaming Show, his channel, he didn't label it Pathways to War. You might have some trouble finding it. But basically, he's got this new Osprey game where it's different war bands from the ancients' time, far as like middle for Rome and stuff like that. So he's going to do a couple war bands. It's not quite an army, but I think he got contacted me and said that's what's going to be his video. I hope he labels the rest of them Pathways to War. That way, you guys that are interested in seeing like different guys do it, you can find the videos. So hold on one second. So basically, you know, this is a great project. It's a, you know, you spent the money on the miniatures. They're sitting, they're laying around. You know, some of the stuff's painted, some of it's not. And this is a great way to focus on that and get that army done. And it's a great way to show other people how you go about doing things. And, you know, with the exchange of ideas and stuff like that, it'll make you think about stuff you never seen because you're watching other guys doing it, because everybody does things different. And I think it's just going to be a blast. But his video was spot on, and I wish I would have done a video about, you know, my selection on the army and stuff like that, because God knows, you know, I've got a couple hundred dwarves sitting around. I got a giant box of Chaos Space Marines, and he had another point. I think it was like an Eldar army, Harkonnen army he was thinking of, and he's holding off till his painting gets a little bit better, and I can empathize with that too, because there's a lot of those chaos stuff that I just have put off painting because I'm not happy with my painting skills, you know. But the cool thing is, you know, the more armies you get under your belt getting painted and stuff like that, when you got super cool minis like that, you know, it's not gonna be too long before I'm gonna feel confident enough to paint those Chaos Space Marines, because Christ, man, I must have 5 or 6 Land Raiders. I got the Vindicator. I got all the old school vehicles from 5th edition. All right, so I got a shitload of Marines, and you know, fuck Games Workshop. You know, I'm gonna use the no limits rules because they've got write-ups for Space Marines and stuff like that, and you know, as far as fluff development, I'll probably end up creating a whole nother Chaos Demon on the premise that what humanity's doing to feed those bodies to the Emperor, as far as the Psychers and all the suppression and stuff like that, that will be man's downfall and form a Chaos Demon, just like how the Eldar fell, as far as the Eldar being all crazy about pleasure and decadence and stuff like that. As you know, there's an old saying, they say that the pathway to hell is paved with good intentions, you know. But all right, so that's down in the future, and you know, I've got, you know, Warzone figures that basically I'm not using, that I could have did an army with and stuff like that. A lot of that stuff's more painted, but I'm just saying, you know, if you're a guy and you've been collecting figures for a while, you've got stuff laying around that you spent good money on that you could be using, and here's a way to use it. All right, so let's go on and talk about miniature selection. I got 2 other videos as far as like what was going to be in the main combat platoon. So this army's a little bit more vehicle heavy than troop heavy, but you know, you can't take over territory with just tanks and planes alone. You need boots on the ground. All right, so basically I have a platoon worth of guys and some different combat teams and stuff like that, and these are all in support of smaller size mechs, you know, knight size or basically armor core type size robots, and then the vehicles will be supporting them. But let's talk about these troops. These guys are part of my mercenary group. These are Zokar Terror Troopers, is what I call them. And these are basically from EM4. This is the plastic miniature that they have. And this unit is basically a Devastator unit. It composes of 4 heavy weapons. So this is the laser gun option for the guy. And they're a cool mini. I mean, for 89 cents a crack, man, you can't go wrong. Alright, and then there's 2 of the heavy, the laser cannons, and then 2 guys with plasma cannons. So that's going to be it. And then the actual leader guy is just a normal, I call those flamers, okay? And a power sword. And then basically this is the base trooper, the underbarrel grenade launcher, and I haven't decided to go if I'm going to go kinetic weapon or energy weapon. I really want to look through the rules a little bit more before I decide on these guys. But basically I could be just about anything. That's a great thing. Okay, so these guys will support the lightly armored guys, and it'll be the completion of the unit. Basically, all I got to do is figure out the command structure as far as make a unit of a command unit. And what I'm going to use are these vehicles right here. And basically, it kind of looks like a German Wessel. But then it's got the heavy weapon on top. Alright? And the tactics to that is basically when these guys go up against the big mech unit, and the mech unit support, I didn't want to put it all into really big battle tanks, because I could have got 3 or 4 big battle tanks and use that as to fight the mechs off. But basically I want to make my opponent really have to choose the targets, and by the time he starts eliminating some of the targets, there's enough getting thrown at him that I'm going to be able to take his mech out of commission. So that's the whole tactics to that, and so basically this is, the APC with the big ass weapon on the top of it is very similar to the U.S. Striker, and I want to have units where I can shoot and scoot, what I'm saying, because in the house rules that I have for no limits, basically there's a lot of technological things going on as far as being able to alignment, vehicles having shielding and detection and lock on and stuff like that. So, basically you can nail them once or twice and then move. And if there's no line of sight for that vehicle, they'll be able to get the heck out of the way and take another couple shots at him and eliminate those targets. So, basically, this will pretty much complete the platoon. Each APC is going to carry one of the units, and then I have an APC that's carrying some of the heavy weapon type stuff, as far as like the mobile heavy weapons. All right, so this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to paint the other 2 vehicles. These 3 vehicles, I think I bought at like a liquor store or a dollar store. No, they're just generic toys, but they're nice right scale, because one of the things too that I really I like tanks, and I've been to tank museums and I stood next to tanks, so I got a pretty damn good idea how big things are going to be Fortunately, a lot of the industry makes models smaller. I know they probably do this because of cost, but what can you say? It's your game. You get to do what you want. So, uh, basically, that's gonna pretty much complete the platoon. I already started cleaning up all the metal minis as far as the other units are concerned, and got priming and stuff like that. These figures aren't primed, but I already got what I need painted prime, because I'm sitting on tons of these guys. And but that silver just shows up a little bit better than the black prime stuff. So now I'm gonna start painting. A lot of guys, when it comes to like sci-fi painting, the miniatures is a little bit more complex than say some of the earlier fantasy figures. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of companies are making really complex, great molds for the fantasy type stuff. But when it comes to when I'm doing sci-fi or World War II, I usually paint like three guys at a time. And I know some guys can do like production painting and stuff like that, but um, with the sci-fi stuff, I like to go a little bit better. Majority of my painting style is, you know, dry brushing and stuff like that. I buy cheap brushes, I buy cheap paint, and I try to make it look good. I prime black and use the black for the shading and stuff. Very seldom do I ever use inks, but that's something I'd like to get into, is using more inks and things like that. So basically, there's the platoon. Pretty much almost to completion. I got one more assets to figure out, is to figure out how I'm gonna do the unit for the leader type group. So I want to thank all you guys for watching. Oh, also, Black Country Wargamer is getting on board. He's seen Starkey's Americans, and he's gonna do German. So those guys are gonna get talking. I know Black Country Wargamer is having some kind of trouble with his channel, so he might be doing a new channel. So keep your heads up for that. I hope he makes a video, lets all his subscribers know. And basically, if you haven't checked out those two guys' channels, subscribe. Especially, man, get in there and watch all that Black Country Wargaming, because there's all kinds of cool stuff in there. He's a good chap, and it's got a damn good channel. And both these guys, they're not gonna fucking blow smoke up your butt as far as like the dealing with the miniatures and things like that. These are, if they don't like something, they're gonna let you know. They're gonna tell you why and stuff like that. And I appreciate that. So many times, you get people that review stuff on here and they're not honest about it. And another guy that's really straight about that, it's the Dino from the Solo Wargaming channel, and check out his channel too. So basically, I've almost got damn near everything picked out. A couple more vehicles, little robots, and the command structure, and I'll be ready to get painting and get writing these up, and talking about more about the fluff and more about the stats and stuff, and why I did this and why I did that. But as far as vehicle selection, I could have went with more lightly armored APCs, but for this type of work they're gonna do, I think the heavier armed ones, because basically I'm trying to do a death from 1,000 cuts kind of army, as far as tackling that group. Oh, and another thing too, that the guy at Starkey's Man Cave brought up is he's gonna do a mixed American and Allied British Forces army. For that time of the war, for was Operation Market Garden. Fucking cool. That is a great idea, because it adds a lot of flavor to the army, and I look forward to seeing that if he goes that route. Uh, and it is kind of more realistic, real life situations and stuff like that. I believe the Black Country Wargamer is gonna do his Germans, which the German army's interesting army in World War II. I look forward to seeing that too. Don't necessarily like Nazis because I've got gypsy ancestry, and basically half of my mom's family died in the death camps when that war happened through the Holocaust. Um, but nonetheless, I have studied German tactics and army and stuff like that. Some interesting stuff. It's gonna be cool to see the battle groups up there, and what type of units these guys pick and do, and how they get things going. So that's gonna be pretty cool. Uh, and I like ancient battles too. I mean, dude, I'm a gaming junkie. As far as war gaming, I don't necessarily buy the figures for everything, but I keep my eye out on just about everything. So, all right, sorry about this being a little bit longer one. I don't know if you guys like long videos or short videos. If you guys could comment on that, I appreciate it because fuck, I could talk forever. All right, so let's get to I don't do Patreon or anything. I'm almost getting tired of talking about this, but it's a good cause, so I do it. Basically, I don't do Patreon or any of that other crap. I don't ask for money from anybody. But basically, if you got unloved, unwanted, unused miniatures from any genre of miniatures, even any scale, what I do is I take these miniatures, make more simplistic games. Sometimes, I teach them the actual games because these kids are really catching on. I take them down to our community center, which is kind of like a boys and girls club. So if you're looking to get rid of stuff and just crap you're not going to use, we'll take just about anything. All right, so if you're interested in doing this project or you like what's going on, and I would love to see more videos from more guys. I want to thank the other guys for signing up and signing on. I think this is going to be a nice thing to come out through this year, and it's going to be really interesting because just listen to other people talk about it. It makes me think more about my perspective as far as the Army. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe and share. If you know a guy that would probably dig this or a gal that would dig this and want to do it on their channel, go ahead and share the videos. And I want to thank you all. May the dice be with you.